Well, we see the drop in temperatures already, and we know that that cooler weather is right around the corner. So how to get your perennials and shrubs all set for colder winter weather? Ashley Kirkland is live this morning from Flynn's Flower and Garden Center in Escanaba to tell us more about it. Morning, Ashley.
Good morning, Vicki. You are so right about that temperature change, and now is the time to start thinking about getting those plants prepared that you love year-round, ready for the next few months. Now, Flynn's has been around for over 20 years, and they specialize in everything from gardening to floral designs, and so they have a number of plants that they take care of, and they also have a greenhouse. So they're going to talk to us a little bit later in the show about how to care for those plants year-round and make sure that they're great and ready for next year to bring them out, and they'll be just as beautiful as they were this spring, or as I think about this spring, maybe this summer as those plants were. So we'll be back with that, Vicki, with the owner of Flynn's a little bit later. I'll take it back to you for now. Ashley Kirkland reporting live in Escanaba, TV6 News.
All right, thank you very much. If you'd like to keep your plants and shrubs this season looking good for years to come, you're going to want to start getting them ready for the winter weather in just a moment. So we'll be joining Ashley Kirkland live at Flynn's Flower and Garden Center this morning in Escanaba to tell us how to do that. Good morning, Ashley.
Well, Vicki, when the air turns chilly this fall, you want to make sure that all of your hard work in the garden doesn't go to waste. So right now we're here at Flynn's Flower and Garden Center, and I'm here with the owner, Wally Flynn. Wally, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, when you talk about preserving your shrubs and your plants, how exactly do you do that?
Well, in the case of shrubbery and that, which took a lot of beating last winter, it's a good idea to protect them going into the winter months here. You don't want to do it too early, because the plants are still growing and they're starting to go into dormancy. So prime time to do this would be late October, first part of November. So a good thing to do, especially on your broadleaf evergreens like hollies, rhododendrons, and boxwood, is to spray them with products like this wilt stop here that gives a coating on the leaves to protect them from drying out through the winter. A lot of people had a lot of trouble with winter burn last winter. This winter's predicted to be about the same. Another good thing to do is after you spray them with the wilt stop is to tie them up with some rope and pull them together, and then wrap them with some burlap to protect them, to keep the wind off of them. Okay. It works good also on evergreens like spruces and balsam, and that it works wonderful on. You want to protect them. Also keeps the deer from eating them, and protects them from spreading apart with snow load too. That's real important.
Now, when you contain these plants and you wrap them up, is that going to stunt their growth?
No, it doesn't stunt them. Actually, it's going to encourage more growth in the spring because you won't have damage to the tips of the branches and the buds. Last winter we had a lot of trouble with the buds on especially spruces. These small buds which are formed right here on the top, those froze last winter. And so the plant had to regenerate all new buds, and they died back a little bit, and new budding had to form, and it came out late this year.
Okay. Now, is there any sort of products that you might want to put in the soil before you wrap these up?
No, you just want to make sure the soil is good and wet going into the winter. Fertilizing is over with for this season. The plants are going into dormancy. All the energy from the top of the plants going back to the root system. So you just want to leave it alone, keep it, make sure it's good and wet going into the fall. And Mother Nature this year has given us a lot of moisture, and so you don't have to worry about watering, I don't think, but just make sure going into the freeze up in November that the ground is good and wet.
Okay. And can you walk us through just kind of tying up one of these plants and show us how to do that properly?
Oh, sure. Just I got one ready to go here. I'll put it up on the table, and we'll try it.
We'll get that plant there.
What you want to do is just use a good tree rope or twine, something that won't damage the bark on the plant. And I put a loop on the end of it, and I cinch it down at the base, and then you just kind of spiral it around and pull the branches up. A lot easier to do on the table here than it is out in the garden. Pull it in. When you get it pulled in nice, take and tie it off to one of the stems, one of the branches. Just do a simple half hitch. Get this here so we can see it. There. Like that. And then take your burlap and lay it around the plant. Like this. And then secure it at the top with another piece of twine. and then around the base with another piece of twine.
Awesome.
And that'll help protect that for the winter months.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Wally, and we'll be back, Vicki, a little bit later. We're going to talk about those perennials. We're going to head into their greenhouse here at Flynn's Flower and Garden Center. I'll take it back to you for now. Ashley Kirkland reporting live in Escanaba, TV6 News.
All right, thank you very much.
Your favorite shrubs and plants. Now it's time to put them away and try and save them up for the winter. Now TV6's Ashley Kirkland is live with more on preserving your perennials in colder weather. Good morning, Ashley.
Well, Sam, time sure does fly, and fall is moving in, and you want to make sure to secure your plants so they don't die this winter. Right now, we're at the greenhouse of Flynn's Flower and Garden Center, and we're going to talk about some perennials and how to secure those for the winter. I'm back here with the owner, Wally Flinn. Now, Wally, what do you do differently with your perennials to make sure that they're safe and sound for the winter?
Well, the important thing on perennial plants in your garden is you don't cut them back too soon. You want to wait till the foliage either freezes back or turns yellow. The chlorophyll, the green that's in the leaf, the chlorophyll has to go back into the root system. That's energy for the plant to grow again next year. Chlorophyll actually is sugars, and that's high energy in the sugar. Okay. And when that goes back to the root system, the plant will turn yellow. And then you can cut it back 2 to 3 inches from the ground, and clean up all your debris, and then mulch that over with 1 to 2 inches of a good mulch. Okay. To hold moisture in the ground through the winter. There again, like shrubs in that, keep the ground nice and moist going into the winter freeze up.
Yeah. Now, we saw some pretty deep frost levels last winter. Is there anything extra that people need to do as far as the mulch or soil that they put on top of the perennials?
Well, an inch or two of mulch will protect it. The main thing is that you keep the ground wet. This plant does have to freeze. During its dormancy period, it has to be frozen, and so to come back next year. It's part of its life cycle. But that mulch, but keeping the root dry is the main thing. Wet. If it dries out during the winter months, you'll get a freeze drying on the roots and the plant will fail. Okay. So
now we heard that colder weather is moving in closer, maybe even this week. When do you recommend for people to start preparing their perennials?
Well, this first cold weather will start the plant going into dormancy. Watch your perennials in that as the foliage starts to turn yellow or orange. Like, get your fall colors. When all the green is left the plant, then you can clip it off and get it ready for winter.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Wally, for all of your expertise here at the Garden Center. And if you want to know more, they're right here in Escanaba, right off of Highway 41. Make sure to stop in and get a little information about your plants and your perennials for this winter. Also, stick around for more of your TV6 Morning News.